Hello everyone, if you're new here, I'm Allen with Earthglow, and this channel is all about sharing the joy of candle making. In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing, I think, what is CandleScience's largest launch ever, which, as you guys know, last year they launched like so many different oils, I could hardly keep up. There were some hits, there were some misses, and I will have all those videos in the description box if you want to check them out from their launches last year. But inside this big box here is a bunch of oils. They even have their own boxes now for the smaller ones. They are part of their 2024 year-round collection. And so I'm going to be, as I always do, giving you my 100% raw, unfiltered, out of the bottle first impressions of these oils. So if this is something that brings a smile to your face, consider subscribing. I am always posting candle business related videos, and fragrance videos, if you all haven't noticed by now, are my absolute favorite to film. But anyways, let's get right into today's video, and I hope that you enjoy. Before we get into this unboxing, I always like to put up a disclaimer that this is just my out-of-the-bottle first impressions. Fragrance is very subjective. You always want to do your own testing and make sure to test in a final product before having any final impressions. This is just my out-of-the-bottle first impressions, and that is all. But with that said, we're going to get right into this video, and as always, this is in no way sponsored by CandleScience or affiliated with CandleScience. They do send me their oils pretty regularly now. I think I was told that the CandleScience team actually watches these videos, which I kind of get a kick out of, but yeah, we just tell it how it is, and I'm glad that they appreciate that. So yeah, I don't even remember what the oils are in this launch at all. I didn't even really look. I just know there's a ton. So we're gonna get through all of them. Could be a longer video, so grab some coffee or grab a tea or something. But this first one is Vanilla Orchid. And CandleScience, since you are watching this, I'm going to continue giving you a hard time about the discontinuation of your Plumeria fragrance. Seaside Plumeria is not Plumeria. And your Plumeria oil blended with the cherry blossom, Japanese cherry blossom, was my night blooming orchid candle. And I am so disappointed that that oil is no longer available, that Plumeria, because it was one of my favorites. All right, anyways, next up we have Forest Chai here. We are in focus. Interesting name. We've got Sweet Vanilla Caramel. Didn't they just release a Sweet Vanilla Caramel fragrance? Am I misremembering something? We have Olive, Leaf, and Citron. I think I'm most excited for this one. Orange Creamicle. I almost certainly am going to be very critical. I'm usually not into those types of oils personally. Golden Hour. Curious what their take is there. We got Tulip Fields. I don't think I've smelled a tulip fragrance before, so that will be interesting. And let's see. Wow, they just keep going. Oh my god, Bohemian Rose. So I absolutely was a fan of their Rose and Oud fragrance. I know that one's pretty controversial, but you cannot judge it out of the bottle. That oil is so unique. So yeah, I'm curious how Bohemian Rose is going to be. And then Sunwash, which I expect will be kind of like a linen or something along those lines. Wow, there's still more. Coastal Cottage. Love the name of that oil. And Pink Watermelon Lemonade. No thank you personally, but I'll give it a fair shot. Oh my god. Okay, last but not least, I think this is the last one. We have Spiced Oat Milk. So that should be interesting. Alright, I think I got everything. So I don't know what I want to start with. I think I kind of want to do... I'm so excited for Bohemian Rose as well as the I kind of want to smell the spiced oat milk at first because it's like the perfect fragrance for today with all the snow outside. Like I feel like this is gonna be sort of maybe a chai leaning fragrance. Actually, no, they have a chai fragrance too. And I've noticed CandleScience, like some of their oils last year were definitely more upscale. And I will like say that they've had a huge price increase as well. And I understand, like I spoke with Emily from CandleScience and she said that they had not had a price increase prior for like 3 or 4 years. So I do understand that because of all the inflation that they needed to increase some prices. But with that said, I am expecting more kind of high-end leaning fragrances because now their price points are on par pretty much with like Simbi that I just reviewed recently and some of Dupe's fragrances and Scent Memory, some of Brambleberry's oils. Not quite as expensive on all of them, but again, my standards are gonna be going more towards expecting high-end like oils. Oh my gosh, I'm smelling something really strong from a distance here. But this is spiced oat milk. Wow. Okay, I can smell it like without even dipping. Oh wow. Okay, so this fragrance reminds me, I really like it. I wouldn't say this is high end, but it's definitely a warm, luxurious smelling gourmand. It's a warm, rich, I definitely get like the essence of a spiced oat milk, and it's not overly powdery either. Like some of these richer, warm gourmands, sometimes they can have either too much vanilla, too much sweetness, or too much powder, and it just throws the balance off for me. This is like the perfect balance of spice, but it's not overly spicy. It's probably like 75% oat milk, 25% spice. It's so prominent, CandleScience, like damn. All right, so off to a good start here. And for those of you who don't know, I put my favorites up here. Why don't we just rank all of these oils at the end of the video as well? Do you guys like it when I do that? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's take a look at Pink Watermelon Lemonade. I want to get this one over with. I'm gonna try to be the most fair critic as I can. I'm just telling you all that these types of oils are not for me. I don't like things that smell like candy. I don't like things that smell like popsicles or like kind of sugary food without a richness to it. So I don't think this is gonna be an oil for me, but I'm gonna try to be like on the Food Network where you can't possibly like every flavor, but I'm judging it based on the name and based on someone who is gonna want that kind of a thing in their line. I can already smell it from here. And yes, this is exactly Pink Watermelon Lemonade. If you've smelled like the Jolly Rancher candy, watermelon Jolly Ranchers combined with almost like a lemongrass type of a vibe, but not herbal really. It's more, well, it has a little bit of herbalness to it that I like actually. I am getting some lemongrass in this. I don't know that it's in there, but it has like it's not like a fake plasticky type of a candy, if that makes sense. It's like a Jolly Rancher combined with a little bit of lemongrass essential oil, almost, is what I'm getting. It is definitely a watermelon type of a flavoring agent that I'm getting. And definitely, I don't know, do I really get lemonade? It's more of a pink lemonade, right? I don't get a straight lemonade from this. Yeah, like, it's not for me, clearly. But I think that this is a good stab at a pink watermelon lemonade if you're looking for that type of a thing in your line. Let's take a look at Coastal Cottage. Now, for those of you who don't know, in January and February, I actually like to release fragrances that might be kind of along these type of lines, or something that has almost like an I'm going on vacation, like a Mediterranean fig, if those of you have smelled that oil from CandleScience. That's a perfect example of what I might release this time of year, just because it's not quite spring, right? It's nowhere close to spring. So people aren't really ready for that. Oh my God, I'm smelling something though. It's really intriguing. Yeah, so people are not ready for spring oils, but definitely like I'm going on vacation. People kind of want something like that. I find in January it can do really well. So I'm expecting something that's gonna take me somewhere. Something that's gonna take me, like say I'm from Chicago and I wanna go to Harbert, Michigan or something. That's where my grandma lives. But it's kind of a small, quaint beach town, right? And it's kind of where there's cottages and different things on the lake. So, oh wow. Okay, this one is lighter. I was smelling it from a distance here. It's lighter than I would like out of the bottle. And actually, surprisingly, what I'm getting first is like a spearmint or like a peppermint, some sort of a minty top note with some eucalyptus in it that I'm getting. I don't know if that's in here, but that's what I'm getting, along with like a beachy type of linen note. But also, wow, yeah, there's an herbal component, there's a minty component, there's a linen, and then there's like, sort of like an ozonic, I just whacked myself, kind of like an ozonic component. Like a salty sea air, but it's not really a salt, I don't think, that I'm getting. I'm literally touching this to my nose. Yeah, I'm actually thinking this might be really good for my Lake Michigan unsalted candle, because I'm wanting something that's like not a saltwater scent, but that goes for like the farmers markets here, but that's like a beachy scent. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is not like a tropical beach. This is like a lake that I'm getting from this one. Wow. Okay, this is a surprising combination that is really growing on me the more I smell it. Next up, let's take a look at Golden Hour. So I don't know what to expect with this one. It could be floral, it could be ambery. It's gonna wanna evoke that type of a golden warmth is what I'm expecting. And there's a number of different fragrance notes, both floral and clean and textile, that could do that. Okay. Not initial thoughts, I'm not liking it. This fragrance doesn't really know what it wants to be. Yeah, I'm getting an ambery note. I'm getting maybe a little bit of gardenia tuberose kind of note. Yeah, this fragrance is like on the fence. It's like, no, I want to be an amber. No, I want to be a gardenia. I want to be a little bit of CandleScience's gardenia tuberose mixed with a little bit of their Egyptian amber, or maybe their amber noir. Not really that, but it's like a hint of Egyptian amber without all the powder. But yeah, no. Yeah, so I do a blend actually that is, I'll show you really quick here, the candle. So this is my best seller at the farmers markets in the tall jars. I've been experimenting with different types of lids here, or different types of labels, I should say. But Evening and Celery Flats, so this blends CandleScience's Gardenia Tuberose with Flaming Candles Amber Romance Bath & Body Works type. So it's 2 parts of the CandleScience Gardenia Tuberose, 1 part of the Flaming Candle Amber Romance. The essence of, I call it Evening and Celery Flats because Celery Flats is like a wildflower trail that people walk on in the evening, and it has that kind of nectar note and that golden sun coming down in the sky note. But yeah, so I feel like that's what this Golden Hour is wanting to do, but oh, whoa, that wasn't even the right oil. What am I doing? Okay, I'm just gonna do a new strip. I want to smell it one more time. Because yeah, I feel like that's what this oil is wanting to do, but it's just not making the mark. Yeah. Yeah, maybe this would come together more in a candle. I mean, obviously, these are initial impressions. But no. Let's do Tulip Fields. I don't know. I used to not be into florals, but now it's kind of growing on me. I don't burn a whole lot of florals in my house, but I'm just like getting more and more respect and appreciation for a good floral. And I don't think I've ever smelled a tulip marketed fragrance. So I'm curious, very familiar with the actual smell of tulips. So I live in Southwest Michigan, and every year I go to the Tulip Festival in Holland, Michigan. And they have literally hundreds of tulips that you'll see and be able to smell. And you know exactly what a tulip smells like, and it's a unique type of a scent. So I am going to be curious how close CandleScience comes to that with Tulip Fields. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty prominent. There's something in this that I can't quite put a finger on that is competing. It's like a peppery note of some sort. I am getting an authentic tulip to this, but it's not a pure authentic tulip. It's blended with some other stuff that... The more it dries down though, I'm getting more of what I want from this. Yeah, I would say this oil, I'm gonna let this strip dry down. Sometimes I'll even take the strip and put it into a little container and shut the lid. Like one of those little plastic, you can even put it in just a Ziploc bag or just a plastic bag and shut the lid. But this one is confusing me because it really is changing as it dries down on the strip. Initially, I was getting a strong peppery top note, but the more that this dries down, I'm getting more of the mid notes, but I don't know that I'm getting tulip. I'm getting a part like 25 to 30% tulip, but there's almost something that's like almost kind of a bubblegum quality to this that isn't really a quality. Yeah, do you guys remember Wild Rose by CandleScience? It's an oil that they actually discontinued. It smells like it has some of that in it. Next up, let's take a look at... All right, let's do... I want to do the forest chai. I'm curious, what does forest chai even mean? Like, I know exactly what a chai is, right? I know what a chai spice is. I mean, we all know what a chai latte is, right? And you get that star anise, that nutmeg, that cardamom, the cinnamon, mixed with the steamed milk. But with a forest vibe, I'm curious if they're gonna take like a chai spice and blend it with something earthy. So let's see what this one's gonna do. And I'm smelling something that is not what I would expect. Oh, yeah. Whoa, I just whacked myself. I must have smelled something like vanilla-y from a different oil because this is not at all... Wow. Okay, this is a really spice-heavy fragrance, but it's a unique spice, and it's an upscale spice. And this does take me right to a forest. Like, I'm getting some bark off some trees and some of the ground. Wow, this is a very elevated spice, and it's a complex spice. And I do get the chai component, but I get it blended with, like I said, this kind of bark component. This fresh, I don't know what the note is in this, but it's something that's high-end that I have smelled a lot of times going into fancy department stores, or even like a Northern Lodge. This fragrance gives me chills, actually, the more I smell it. Wow. I don't know that I need something like this in my line personally, but if you are looking for an upscale spice fragrance that is very unique and just charming and alluring, I feel like people would like this who don't generally have an appreciation for spice. Because, so if you love those kind of cinnamon fragrances, you'll probably like this, but I personally don't. And yet, this is a fragrance that is so balanced. The mid and base notes bring in like the sandalwood and the depth and I get like a cedar or a birch or something that almost like, if you smelled the famous Nature's Garden crackling birch, this is almost like a high-end version of that, but it has more spice to it. Oh, wow. This is a really complex and unique oil. Next, let's take a look at Vanilla Orchid. All right, CandleScience. So, Vanilla Orchid, I'm very familiar with the plant. Are we even focusing here? There we go. I'm very familiar with the plant, Vanilla Orchid, and I don't think they really have much of a smell, but like I know where they're going with this. And I want something that's like a floral, kind of cozy vanilla, maybe. Something that is definitely high-end leaning. So yeah, let's see what Vanilla Orchid's gonna do. Oh. No. Oh my god, I just whacked myself. Okay, this is like a combination of flowers with cough medicine. Out of the bottle? No. This doesn't work for me, personally, at all. Wow, yeah. So I'm not even getting... yeah, this is so far from where their other florals are in terms of the quality. This is like they took very vanilla, which is a really vanilla frosting heavy fragrance, and blended it with like Chardonnay or something, and it doesn't work. Next up, let's take a look at Orange Creamsicle. And again, this oil, I don't think it's gonna be for me, but this one I'm gonna be judging based on the name. And I know this is a really popular note, or a really popular scent. A lot of people want something that smells like an orange creamsicle for whatever reason. I'm just not one of them. So, but I know exactly what orange creamsicles smell like because I like eating them. I just don't really want to burn something in my home that smells like that. But like I said, I'm in the minority because this is a very highly requested fragrance, just in general in the summertime. So here we go. Oh. No. Oh my God, I just whacked myself. So this does not smell like, again, this is like they took almost like a lemongrass, in my opinion. This is like they took a, yeah, it's like they took a lemongrass or something, essential oil, and blended it with like some orange. This is very essential oil heavy, actually. I do quite like this take on a creamsicle though. Like if you have an aromatherapy line or an essential oil leaning line and you want to have something be marketed as a creamsicle that is like a spa take on a creamsicle almost, I feel like this is actually quite good. But this does not smell like a straight orange creamsicle. This is like an inspired spa-like take on an orange creamsicle. Which I actually am not opposed to at all. This has a warm, embracing quality to it, surprisingly for me. And I do get a bright, like happy citrusy note, but I also get a warm, embracing like lemongrass. I didn't say lemon, lemongrass note to this. So it has like an earthiness too, that's kind of like that singing, humming vibe. I'm really surprised by this one. Definitely, I would not say true to name, but something that I actually quite enjoy. Next up, let's take a look at Sunwashed. Now, Sunwashed is one that I'm expecting something kind of linen-like from. And maybe something that has like a golden component of some sort. It could be amber, it could be lemon, maybe a citrus. So here goes Sunwashed by CandleScience. Oh! Oh, wow. Yeah, this is a laundry scent, but this is not like, okay, this is an upscale laundry type of a scent. An upscale linen. And I'm a big fan of their fresh linen odor eliminator. I don't know why they call it that. Like, it's just not appealing, but I love that oil. I sell it as my By Felicia candle. It's my year-round collection. It's probably out of stock right now, but, oh wow, yeah, this is good. So, yeah, this is an upscale linen. Like, I definitely get a citrusy note to this and also a linen, like, beachy kind of note. Yeah. This also has kind of like a soapy note, almost like a shampoo kind of note. Maybe there's some fig or some berry or something in there as well. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. It's very prominent out of the bottle. I will give CandleScience that almost all these oils, maybe except for I would wish the Coastal Cottage was a little more prominent out of the bottle, but pretty much everything I've been smelling this whole launch this year and last year has been really pretty prominent. And like I said, I'll have all my other videos from CandleScience when I smelled their oils last year linked below. But yeah, this is good. Like if you're into linens, you like fresh, citrusy, kind of a high-end leaning linen, you might want to try out Sunwashed. Next up, we have 3 to go here, and the 2 that I'm most excited about, I'm saving for last, Bohemian Rose and Olive Leaf and Citron. Let's take a look at Sweet Vanilla Caramel. I swear they had a sweet vanilla or a sweet caramel fragrance, did they not, in their last launch? But let's see what this one's gonna do for us. Yeah. Okay, this smells like dulce de leche, except I've had a lot of trouble with dulce de leche by CandleScience. If any of you know that oil, I had it in my line and it's a good seller, but that oil is so viscous that it continually separates even when you use it correctly and even when you lower the percentage, and then you also have trouble with the hot throw. So I am going to be using one of these new vanilla caramel fragrances to replace that scent, just because it's such a popular oil in my winter collection, but it's such a popular candle, but I've just had so much trouble working with the oil and then issues with hot throw when I bring the percentage down. So this one does not appear out of the bottle. I don't think you can really see it, but just looking at it, I don't want to spill this all over. It does not appear to be as viscous, and by viscous I mean just thick, right? Think of like honey or something, like actual honey, how thick that is and syrupy. This is not like that. It's moving quite a bit in the bottle. Very prominent. I'm definitely getting a caramel note, a vanilla note. It smells to me just like their dulce de leche fragrance that I'm so familiar with, but maybe even stronger out of the bottle and also not as thick. So I'm definitely intrigued by sweet vanilla caramel as a possible replacement for dulce de leche. So we are down to the last two oils. I'm so excited for both of these. We have the Bohemian Rose and we have the Olive Leaf and Citron. I am so excited for this one. I'm gonna smell the Bohemian Rose and end with the one I'm most excited for. So for the Bohemian Rose, I am expecting something that is going to be definitely like a rose, but bohemian. Like, I want a more modern, sophisticated, because the bohemian style is so in right now, and I want like a laid back, modernistic interpretation of a rose, like a pastel rose. So here goes Bohemian Rose by CandleScience. Oh, wow. This is really interesting. Actually not really what I was expecting though. Like okay, so again, there's like a peppery note on the top that almost has like a bayberry or something. Or it's like a spicy top note to this that I don't know about actually. As a whole, I think I like this oil out of the bottle. I'm not sure though about, like, it's like half there for me. So I'm getting rose. I'm definitely getting, if you've smelled like their rose petals, it's almost like it has some of that in it. But then also it has something else going on with it that almost is like peppery. Like I don't know if there's any sort of pine or bayberry in this or cypress, but yeah, it is like a more modern rose though. I will give it that, but it's almost like a floral bouquet modern rose. Yeah, so it is like a classic, a modern take on a classic rose, but yeah, I do think this one falls a little short of my expectations. Because their rose and oud, for me, that one was so iconic. So yeah, if you like English Garden by CandleScience or Rose Petals, I'm a fan of actually both of those in a way. They're not my most favorites, but I do have both of those as blends in my line. Yeah, this is along the lines of that, but I guess I just expected something a little bit different based on the name. I don't know what about this would be bohemian. It's a beautiful floral bouquet, but it has something kind of peppery in the top, and I'm not sure if that quite goes with the rest of the fragrance. Last but not least, I am gonna be smelling this olive leaf and citron, and I cannot wait for this. So I'm hoping that this is along the lines of Nerolian White Jasmine, which is in a blend for my Rome candle, CandleScience Nerolian White Jasmine with CandleScience Sandalwood, and I blend that with Nature's Garden Bergamot. And that is my Rome candle, and I love that candle. I will say though that if this is really, really good, it might replace it, just because that one as a candle is a little bit lighter in my blend than I would like. So here goes olive leaf and citron. Take me to Italy, please. Oh, wow. Yeah, so this one is definitely high-end leaning. I'm getting actually a strong fig note, like a strong green fig type note to this one. Yeah, so if you've smelled like Figuier by Stone Candles, which I believe is a Votivo type, or if you have smelled Simbi's, I'll put the name up on the screen, by Simbi of the oil that I'm thinking of, it's along those lines for sure, but yet it has this kind of citrus like petitgrain orange, like a bitter orange aesthetic to it. And I actually really like this. I don't know that it's my favorite from this haul, but it's definitely like a high-end leaning fragrance that I find a beautiful combination of a citrus with something that's woody and earthy. So I'm gonna rank these oils. Please let me know if you all enjoy this. So for me in last place, I'm gonna go from last place to first place. In last place, I would probably have to say is this Vanilla Orchid. This does not work for my nose. It just does not work. After that one, I would probably have to put Golden Hour, which is a disappointment. I like where this fragrance is going. It just doesn't quite come together for me. After that one, I would put probably either the Tulip Fields. Let's see here. This is Tulip Fields. I actually think I might like that one a bit more than the Bohemian Rose. No. Okay, after Golden Hour, I put Tulip Fields. And then after that one, I would put probably, I think the Pink Watermelon Lemonade actually surprised me a bit. Like, it's not for me at all, but I definitely think it's a good version. If you want a pink watermelon lemonade, like, I feel like it's a good version. So yeah, I would have to put, yeah, the Bohemian Rose after the, whoa, as I drop the cap, after the Tulip Fields, probably. And then, I don't know about that. Maybe, yeah, those two are kind of a tie for me, the Watermelon Lemonade and the Bohemian Rose. And then after that, I would put probably the Orange Creamsicle, which again, kind of surprised me. Yeah, I think that's a really good stab at an Orange Creamsicle, but keeping it like, if you have kind of an earthier line and your clients are like, oh, I want an Orange Creamsicle scent, but you have more of an apothecary line, this would really be something to check out. Whoa, as I drop the oil. Okay, yeah, I'm actually quite surprised by that one. But the stakes are getting high because, like I said, all the ones up here are my absolute favorites. So I do have to rank this one probably compared to the Sunwashed. Sunwash is beautiful, but I think that it may have a little more powder than I would like. So I'll rank the Sunwash there, and then the Orange Creamsicle after that. And then to my creme de la cremes up here, we have the Olive Leaf and Citron, the Sweet Vanilla Caramel, the Forest Chai, Coastal Cottage, and Spiced Oat Milk. So these are all really, in my opinion, hits out of the bottle, so it's hard for me to rank them, but I would have to say of these oils in last place, I don't know, can I put the Coastal Cottage? I really like the Coastal Cottage. My only critique of it is that I wish it were more prominent out of the bottle, but it may come together more once it's in a candle. Wow, this is very hard. Maybe I'll put the Sweet Vanilla Caramel just because I thought that they just released one of those, so I'm a little confused. But again, like, these are very hard to rank. They're all totally different too, right? Like, I'm just going based on my impressions out of the bottle of what I personally like and what I feel like is a good, you know, fragrance in my opinion out of the bottle. So yeah, so then in my number, so that would be my number 5 out of, let's see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in my number 5 position, these are all my top 5s, we have Sweet Vanilla Caramel. In my number 4 position, I think I'm gonna put, this is so hard. It says the Olive Leaf and Citron. I do quite like that. There's something in it though. There's one note in there that is a little bit like a candy that, oh, it's so slight though. I mean, I'm just like really looking for things at this point. because it's very difficult for me to rank these. The spiced oat milk has to be one of my favorites. Oh, that's so good. Oh my gosh, yeah, if you want like that kind of vanilla, honey, oat with some spice. Okay, so sweet vanilla caramel is number 5. Number 4, I am gonna put the Coastal Cottage just because it's lighter than I want out of the bottle. That is my only critique. I really love this oil, and it may end up in my line if I can get a good hot throw out of it. Whoa, because I do want something like that for my Lake Michigan unsalted candle. And then after that one, in number 3, I think I will put the olive leaf and citron, just because, like I said, there's something very subtle in it that almost is like, almost like a candy note that doesn't quite go with the rest of the fragrance. It brings the level of elevatedness down a tick. And then in my number 2 position, I would have to put the spiced vanilla oat milk. This oil, I have absolutely nothing but just wow to say about this. This is like in between your velvet vanilla, your very vanilla, and some of your like eggnog fragrances and some of your chai fragrances. It's like the best version of all of those, and it just, every part of it just goes so well together. It's beautiful, but I feel like this one's gonna straddle like the line between if you have people that want kind of a spicy fragrance and you're gourmand lovers, and then you're kind of, I like the cozy fragrances, I'm not really into gourmands. I feel like you're still like may get some of those people. It just seems extremely versatile. So I'm a huge fan. That's my number 2. And my number 1 fragrance from this whole video is Forest Chai. I think that this fragrance is, and I'm not even a spice person. I am not even really a spice person, but this oil, you have to put it on a strip. Just smelling the cap, you do not get the whole profile at all of this one. Yeah, this oil is so unique. It's woodsy, it's birchy, it's earthy, but it's so well done as a whole. And this is just the quintessential upscale spice fragrance. Wow, if you are looking for just like that spice, but you want something more than just a straight chai, this is it. Forest Chai by CandleScience is it and takes my number 1 position. Well, that is gonna be all for today. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much to CandleScience for sending me these oils, and as always for being so supportive of basically whatever I say about them, which is pretty crudely honest, if I must say so myself. Like I said, you all get my 100% unfiltered opinions on this channel on fragrances, and that is what I can promise you. So yeah, if you did enjoy, give this video a thumbs up and comment down below which of these oils you're most excited about, or which of these you've already tried. But anyways, I'm sending all of you peace, love, and light, and wishing all of you happy candle making.